The air in Gimhae, even in the 1950s, still carried the faint metallic tang of war. It clung to the damp earth of the rice paddies. It settled in the creases of grandmother's worn hanbok. Fields, once battlegrounds, now stretched wide, though the plough still sometimes turned up shrapnel instead of stones. The land remembered. Every sunrise painted the Gimhae plains in hues of fragile hope, a daily promise whispered after so much shouting. Farmers, their backs bent like the ancient pines on the hillsides, moved with a quiet resilience. Their hands, calloused and strong, coaxed life from the wounded soil. They planted, they waited, they prayed for rain, for sun, for peace to take firm root. Life was a tapestry woven with threads of hardship and an unyielding spirit. The days were long, measured by the sun's slow arc across the vast sky. Children, their laughter a precious, scarce commodity, played amongst the drying peppers and garlic stalks. Their small feet knew the paths between the fields intimately. Homes were simple, often bearing the patched scars of conflict, smoke curling thinly from their chimneys. Food was not always plentiful. Each grain of rice was a testament to perseverance. Yet, within these humble dwellings, stories were shared, and the warmth of family offered a shield against the lingering chill of memory. The war had taken so much, but it had not extinguished the will to rebuild, to nurture, to simply be. Community was the unseen mortar holding everything together. Neighbors were more than just people living nearby. They were extensions of family. When a roof needed mending, hands appeared. When a harvest was bountiful, food was shared without a second thought. Sorrows, too, were communal, borne on the shoulders of many, making the burden a little lighter for each individual. Evenings often found families gathered, the soft glow of a single oil lamp illuminating faces etched with the day's labor and the wisdom of survival. They spoke of the old days, of the war, and of small hopes for the future, their voices a low hum against the chorus of crickets. Tradition, like the deep roots of the village Zelkova tree, anchored them. These customs, passed down through generations, provided a map for navigating the uncertain terrain of post-war life. Marriages were arranged, elders were revered. The proper way of doing things was seldom questioned, for it offered a sense of order in a world that had known too much chaos. Young hearts, however, sometimes beat to a different rhythm, a quiet rebellion against the expected path. The weight of expectation was a heavy cloak, worn even by those who longed to cast it aside, if only for a fleeting moment, under the watchful eyes of the ancestors and the community. Ara was a daughter of this Gimhae soil. Her spirit, though, seemed to bloom with a vibrancy that contrasted with the muted tones of the era. She moved through the fields with a quiet grace, her dark eyes often lost in thought, perhaps dreaming of worlds beyond the endless rows of green. She knew the scent of rain before it fell, the language of the wind in the barley. Her laughter, when it came, was like the sudden chime of a temple bell, clear and unexpected. She carried the burdens of her family, yet a small, resilient flower of hope grew within her, watered by an inner strength that few perceived beneath her dutiful exterior. Sung Cheol was her cousin, a familiar presence in the landscape of her youth. Their families were closely knit, their lives interwoven by blood and shared history. As they grew from children chasing dragonflies to young adults navigating the complexities of their world, their bond deepened, transforming into something tender and unspoken. He understood the unspoken words in her silences, the dreams hidden behind her gaze. In a society where lines were clearly drawn, their affection began to blur those boundaries, creating a space that was uniquely theirs, yet fraught with the peril of discovery. Their connection was a quiet stream, gradually carving a new path. Their sanctuary was an old lemon tree, standing a little apart from the other orchards, its branches gnarled and wise. Its leaves, a vibrant green, offered a cool respite from the summer sun, and in season, its blossoms perfumed the air with a sweet, hopeful fragrance. This tree, with its sturdy trunk and sprawling canopy, became their secret meeting place. Here, away from the watchful eyes of the village, they could speak freely, their voices mingling with the rustle of leaves and the buzz of bees. The lemon tree was their silent confidant, its bark absorbing their whispered hopes and fears, its shade a haven of illicit joy. Underneath its fragrant boughs, their love unfolded, delicate and precious. They shared stolen moments, hands brushing, eyes meeting with an intensity that spoke volumes. Ara would sometimes bring him a piece of sweet rice cake, a small gesture of her affection. Sung Cheol, in turn, would tell her stories of the world he imagined beyond Gimhae. The lemon tree witnessed their innocent confessions, the hesitant touches, the blooming of a love that was as natural as the changing seasons, yet as forbidden as the fruit in a forgotten Eden. It stood as a symbol of their joy, its roots unknowingly intertwined with a tragedy that was slowly, silently taking hold in the shadows. Fast forward to the Gimhae of today, June 6, 2025. The quiet hum of the 1950s has been replaced by the sounds of a bustling modern city, though pockets of the old agricultural landscape still persist. Where once there were only fields, now stand apartment buildings and paved roads. Progress, in its relentless march, had earmarked a particular patch of land, near where the old village centre once thrived, for a new children's playground. Brightly coloured concept drawings showed swings and slides, a place for new laughter, new memories. But to create this future, a relic of the past had to be removed, the ancient lemon tree. The news of the tree's impending removal stirred a quiet unease among the older residents. For them, it was more than just wood and leaves. It was a landmark, a living piece of their history. They remembered playing beneath its shade as children, their own parents and grandparents perhaps sharing stories there. Younger generations, while understanding the need for development, felt a pang of loss for something they hadn't fully known, but sensed was important. The tree represented a connection to a Gimhae that was fading. It sent a reminder of simpler, albeit harder, times. Its removal felt like another page being torn from a cherished, fading book. The day the workers arrived, a small crowd gathered. Heavy machinery rumbled, its modern growl a stark contrast to the tree's silent dignity. The initial attempts to uproot it proved difficult. Its roots ran deep, stubbornly clinging to the earth that had nourished it for so long. The ground seemed reluctant to yield its ancient resident. The sun beat down, and the workers toiled, the metallic clang of shovels against resistant soil echoing the struggle. It was as if the tree itself was resisting, holding on to its secrets, unwilling to be moved without a final profound revelation from the earth it had guarded. Then, a shout. Work stopped abruptly. One of the excavator's teeth had snagged on something solid, something that wasn't a root or a stone. Carefully, the workers began to dig by hand. Their curiosity piqued, a sudden tension filling the air. The loose soil gave way, revealing first a fragment, then more clearly, human bones. They were old, stained the color of the earth, nestled amongst the deepest roots of the lemon tree. The playground plans were forgotten. A hush fell over the onlookers. The past, buried for decades, had just broken through the surface, demanding to be seen, to be questioned. The discovery sent ripples of shock and speculation throughout Gimhae. The site was cordoned off. The vibrant plans for a children's playground were now overshadowed by a somber, unfolding mystery. Whispers began to circulate among the community, old tales resurfacing like ghosts from the past. Elders strained their memories, trying to recall unexplained disappearances from those turbulent post-war years, stories of heartache and unresolved sorrow that had faded with time but never entirely vanished. The lemon tree, once a symbol of quiet beauty and perhaps forgotten youthful trysts, now stood as a sentinel over a darker secret, its roots a silent testament to a hidden human drama. It became clear that the lemon tree was more than just a plant. It was a historian, a keeper of secrets. Its roots, drawing life from the soil, had also embraced and concealed a human story, holding it tight for so many decades. Each ring of its trunk represented not just a year of growth, but a year of silence, a year of guarding what lay beneath. The fragrant blossoms, the tart fruit, all had flourished above a profound sorrow, a life interrupted and interred. The tree had been a witness, its very existence intertwined with a fate unknown until this unexpected unearthing, its branches reaching towards the sky, while its roots held a story of the earth. The irony was palpable. The push for progress, the desire to build something new and joyful for the future, had inadvertently peeled back a layer of the past, revealing a hidden wound. The construction of a playground, meant for the laughter of children, had instead brought forth the silent testimony of bones. It served as a stark reminder that the ground beneath our feet is never just neutral territory. It is a repository of history, layered with the lives and events that came before. Ordinary places, familiar landscapes, can hold extraordinary secrets, their depths undisturbed until an accidental nudge from the present. This discovery in Gimhae speaks to the enduring power of memory and the often surprising ways the past asserts its presence. Change may alter the surface of our world, but the echoes of what has been linger in the soil, in the air, in the stories that are passed down or sometimes tragically lost. The lemon tree, in its final moments of standing, forced a reckoning with a forgotten narrative. It taught the community that even as they build towards the future, they must remain open to the revelations of the past, for hidden stories are often rooted deeply in the most familiar of places, waiting for the right moment to emerge and reshape our understanding of who we are and where we come from.